Okay, welcome back to more of Lost Isle. And we're just going to be continuing on level 4 and make some more progress. And we only start with 3 hearts, but this level has a nice little healing spot nearby, so we can just go right for this one. That'll give us a fresh start as we go through this level. Okay, so let's see, what can we do now? There's actually one place I can get to. Kind of easy to forget to go to this spot, actually. Gotta get through this weird room again. Okay, I believe we can actually go into the portal now because, again, there was a barrier that had to be disabled first. So I'll go down here. Now that you've, again, there was a power switch there. The barrier was likely right up along this line. Okay, this room. You notice the computer panel there is saying MI. That's basically a clue for you and what you need to do with this room. I think you can only push these blocks once. And I don't think you can push these ones with the red lines on them. I'm trying to think if I may have messed up this one. I'm trying to visualize what I'm trying to get at with this one. Maybe if I push this one. There we go. It's like the I is easy to get. It's the M that's a little tougher to figure out. Now we can actually explore a little bit up here. At least get rid of some of these enemies. Okay, so the objective is to get to that chest here. So it has a key in it. And it's gonna be a little bit tricky how to get to this one, though. And we'll just leave that one enemy there. So gonna have to take kind of a long path around Oh, this one's kind of tricky. You can actually walk under this. And there should be a... Kind of trying to figure where I am here. Okay, so use the portal here. Probably easiest to get rid of these bomb chew enemies. Now, there are bombs there for a reason, and this is actually pretty tricky. What you are going to need to do, as tempting as it is, you can actually blow this up. The tricky part is you can actually move this, and you have to get it onto the right spot, and then you know, it creates a portal for you. I don't remember exactly where you're supposed to blow this up on. Let's see if that's okay. Nope. Because there's like a spot you use it on. I don't know if it's like really specific where you're supposed to use that thing. And the problem is if you mess up, you gotta go through this thing again. Well, it's not a hole, it's actually a portal, so I wonder if it was like a space you're supposed to put it on. Huh. I don't remember where you're supposed to use this thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, pick up that other key because, you know, we're gonna need that. I think I can quickly get back to the start this way. Yeah, it's a little bit tedious to do that, but you know, I gotta get it done. I need that other key. Okay, and we can actually go back into the main part of the level. Okay, this room, you notice the green floor thing is the one that's working. You notice this red one. You can actually use your wand on that to turn that one green. Well, since you guys like clogging up the doorway, use that to my advantage. Okay, what you notice about these blue spaces is actually the enemies can't, or at least these dark nuts can't walk on them. So you can basically use that as a safety zone and just snipe away at them. Okay, this room... Oh, okay, I think you notice these panels, these floor panels. Yeah, it's gonna be another one of these, like, timed... Get to the square as fast as you can. And you're not given a lot of time to do this. But once you get it done, you get the map for completing that little puzzle. And I'm not sure how helpful it is. I mean, it almost seems to make this place more confusing. I mean, like, it's a pretty big map. Tons of arrows, which I think are supposed to be stairs and stuff. And then you see, like, a couple of those rooms have, like, red squiggly lines, which I believe are the power rooms. And again, you might want to jot down some notes or something, because it's almost like that map is so confusing to read in the first place. Okay, we'll move on this way. Again, nice to step on the switch there, and you notice the blue safety areas. They can snipe away these dark nuts. Grab all the refills they drop. I'll get some more arrows. So I thought I got that before, when the power was off. Oh well, and more arrows for me. Okay, so you got this interesting little tile, and when you step on this thing, it actually takes you to a whole different part of the level. Kind of interesting how they managed to program that in there. It makes this level a bit more complicated because you can actually loop around in different ways. Okay, so going over here. The point of this is another little puzzle. You need your wand for this. You got 3 of these to activate. And the Armo statues try to get in the way of the shots there. Well, once you finish it, you're done with it, although it's kind of interesting that it's like... Huh, I kind of thought they were stuck on a line there. I mean, it just kept moving left and right there. Okay, so we'll head on down the stairs. There's nothing to the left. That actually leads back into the main part of the level. I actually want to take the exit. And this will give us a nice shortcut back into this area. So we're going to step into the next part of this level, which is almost like its own separate part. Okay, so we'll step in here. This is the lab, basically. Whole side area. And this is kind of an interesting area because you get a lot of, you're gonna get a lot of the backstory in this place. Top secret logs. Apparently not that much security. Yeah, so as you read through these logbook entries, you get a lot of the background story about how this, kind of all came about. It's all optional, but it kind of completes the story. This isn't all random stuff. Yeah, Sky Garden is level 2. And again, it's like a floating fortress. Interesting place. Alright, this screen, you got these kind of like security lights. And if you step on it, then you have to fight some enemies to get out. It's not that big a deal. Trying to practice some stealth work there. And I think you actually want to go left first, because there's actually something you need to do on this side. So you might as well get it done right now. And just kind of observe the electric floors to learn how to get through them. But I think, depending on the hitbox, I think the whole electricity has to be there. So if it's kind of like retracting, it's not going to hit you. At least I don't think it does. Actually, this is some interesting backstory here. You'll get more detail into this later on. And you'll see how that all plays out. Right now it's just more information. Okay, so yeah, that kind of robot Garaya, you kind of have to play a little defensively with it. Luckily, it moves pretty slow, so you just kind of watch it. When it's like in between tiles, because it can't throw its boomerang at you when it's in between tiles. Use that to get your hits in. Very detailed story there. But that does explain why pretty much this whole island's empty. There's like no one living here, because everyone's dead. So you kind of get an idea of what happened. Now the whole point of coming here first, you gotta lower that ladder there. And you can't really do anything on this side. So again, you need that ladder for and you'll see why, where you're gonna need it. Pretty much gonna have to backtrack all the way out of this place. Yeah, this part is a little bit annoying because of the backtracking you have to do. It's not that difficult, it's just you gotta do backtracking to progress here. Luckily it's not a very big place to go through. Okay, so I go to the right now. You almost have to kind of look at the floors to see how much time you have in general. Okay, head on down here, and you actually find a nice little recharge spot. Alright, so if you look at this room carefully, you look at the control panel on the left, you know, it's working fine. And then you got this one that looks kind of broken. Yeah, you know, you have your spin attack, you can actually detect something funny here. So you can blow up that monitor and get into the next room. Pretty simple room here. Okay, next room. Yeah, you got a couple options. You can actually just trip the security here, and I think it's like 2 of those robot garayas. Or you can try to do like stealth mode and try to get through this. It's kind of hard to get through this because there's not that many safe places to walk on. So you kind of have to be patient if you're gonna try to do stealth mode. Ooh, almost tripped that one. Surprised I didn't. Apparently you have to be stepping right on the tile for it to trip. I just spammed the doorway. Yeah, it works for me. Again, not the end of the world if you trip the security. You know, it's just you have to fight some enemies to get out of the room. Okay, so found the power room. I'm gonna turn off all the power in this place. And again, you have to lower that ladder in that others on this side first. Now, since you can't go through the Armo statues. Kind of need an alternate way up. And the whole point of this is, you know, just that you can get to the switch here. Because that actually lowers the barrier when the power was on. And there's really not much else to look at. You can't read the logbooks because the computers aren't working. And this side's blocked by the Armos statues. So the whole point was just to turn off that power switch. Well, at least it's pretty easy to get back. You don't have to go all the way around or anything because the power's off, so that red barrier thing isn't there. I'm just gonna get through all this again, so you have to go through this bit of a obstacle course. Okay, so you're just kind of retracing the same path as the first time. Again, only this time we've disabled that barrier above. Okay, this room's a little obstacle course, so what you have to do is you have to defeat the weird yellow orb thing. I would think you're timed to do it for each phase. And it gets a little trickier with all the fireballs shooting at you. But eventually, after you destroy that yellow orb a few times, it takes out the barriers here so you can move on. And that's some info on an item we're going to be getting later on that you're going to have to get. But it has some other uses as well. And yeah, you can't boost across this toxic stuff. You're gonna have to actually walk around all this. So we just gonna have to get around this maze. Kind of tight passages here. Yeah, I just have to go all the way around this room. And when you get to the end, the whole point is to pick up this thing. It's almost like some sort of ID card or something. It's basically a key. It's like a different type of key. And luckily that takes you back to the start, so no more fancy work needed to get out. Okay, the next part, next section is actually beating the mini-boss in the lab, but that's kind of a somewhat tricky battle. Actually depends how you approach it. I'm kind of just heading back to the start, just to get myself a safer point to that recharge spot. Okay, so made some good progress in level 4. Next part will be taking out the mini-boss and kind of go from there. Alright, see you guys later.